Cinema.
Welcome back to War with Cinema. I'm your host, Greg, your local metalhead, and with me is...
Par the Collector. What's up, everybody?
And we're doing another lesser-known movie by popular directors, Duel.
This is his first movie.
This is his first official movie.
Let's get that out of the way. Yeah. This is his first.
It was actually a straight-to-TV movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
You sound like you didn't like it.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't love this movie, bro.
Are you serious?
I didn't.
I rewatched it, and I'm like, man, I really love this movie.
This is one of those movies that pissed me off because it's just like, I don't know, man. This movie, man, like I would have already fucking got into it with 3 or 4 different occasions with this fucking guy. He would have had a chance to kill me with his truck. Like,
I was telling that to Kendra. I was in the middle of watching it, and I looked at her. I'm like, Nick's going to hate this movie. She's like, why do you say that? I'm like, because he's a bitch, and he hates bitch guys in movies.
I was just like, bro, when you're at the diner, yo, which one of you motherfuckers ran me off the road?
Well, before we get into all that, what is this movie actually about?
Okay, all right. Now, and that's another thing, man. This movie has been done so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same movie, but they put a little spin on it. Like, Stephen King had it was the truck itself. There was nobody driving the motherfucker. You know, Maximum Overdrive was just, the truck went crazy. It had the Green Goblin on the front of that bitch. And
you know what I realized? What? This is Jaws before Jaws.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Thank God Jaws was better. Like that big truck. Yeah, dude, I get it. It like I didn't hate everything about it. I'll say that. But anyways, the movie is about a guy named David Mann. David Mann. Two ends, damn it. And he's on a road trip. He's going to talk to this guy. I'm assuming has something to do with what he does for a living.
Yeah, it's like a business meeting.
He stops and calls his wife at a gas station, and he's like, I just want to apologize about last night. And it's giving you an insight into what kind of a fucking hoe he is in his life. And she's like, there's nothing to apologize about. She's like, I just felt...
No, it's not that he's a hoe. Like, to me, it sounded like somebody was hitting on his wife, and he didn't do shit about it.
That's what I said. He's a hoe. Like, he's just like a bitch.
A bitch.
Like, this guy has no fucking spine.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could have phrased that better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, you know, she's like, he practically raped me in front of everybody. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, who says that like that? First of all, like,
who lets their wife get felt up or whatever happened?
Well, if that's how she looked at it in her mind, like, well, then it had to be bad. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's just like, oh, come on, honey. Like, it wasn't that big a deal. Like,
it is.
What'd you want me to do? Fight him? Yeah, bro. Knock him the fuck out. Like, that's your wife, right?
It's a good way to set up the character, though, to show how much of a bitch he is and why this happens to him.
So I'm already not a fan of this fucking guy. 5 minutes in, and he's driving down the road, and the semi is like, he pulls up on the semi, and the semi's going slow as shit. It's a fucking diesel. It's blowing black smoke out of the back of it. He's breathing it in, coughing with his little bitch lungs. Talk about pollution. And he passes him.
Well, before that, in the opening credit scenes, he's listening to the radio, and he goes to this like talk show thing. I just thought it was a nice little addition because this guy is talking about the census. And he's like, well, I don't work anymore, so technically my wife is head of household, but I don't want to put that on the census because I don't want other people to see that and think I'm not the man of the household. And it was really funny because he's like, I clean the house and shit. Yeah, I wear the little maid outfit, but it just keeps me clean. It was fucking hilarious. But I think it's a nice little touch to like, I think he was trying to touch on masculinity.
He's like, I have neighbors. Like, if they find out, she's like, sir, nobody's going to see this form other than the government. Like,
yeah. He's
like, well, somebody might find out. He's like, so I wanted to check the boxes, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
So I did just lie. I'm just going to lie. And she's like, sir, you don't have to lie. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
But like I said, I think it's just a nice little touch to kind of talk about masculinity and how guys are so like filled with testosterone and they care so much about how they're perceived by other men.
I feel like back then for sure.
Oh, 100%. But
like,
it still lingers today.
Yeah, but we're both kept men. And
yeah.
We have no issues. I have no fucking issues with
right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, for example, these when I was at work, these rednecks were like hazing me because I was new. So I was like, what can I do to these rednecks that won't get me fired? I was like, oh, I'll dye my hair and wear pink earrings because they don't like that shit. And sure enough, they didn't like that shit, but there's nothing they can do about it. And it's just that toxic masculinity that still lingers within our generation.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, with, I don't know, especially back then, like it was like almost unheard of if your woman.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a lot more.
Or if she made more money than you.
Yeah, it's more prevalent back then. I just thought it was interesting that Steven Spielberg was touching on that subject so
early
long
on.
ago. Yeah.
No, that's a good point.
But anyway, so yeah,
But it is kind of like the theme of the whole movie is like, you know, man up.
Yep.
Like, you know, when it matters, I guess. Yeah, but anyways. So yeah, he passes the truck. And then the truck starts riding his ass, and then passes him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, son of a bitch. So he passes him again, but like it takes him a little bit because the truck's like hauling ass at this point. So he pulls off into the gas station, and the truck pulls into the gas station. Well, that's when he makes the call to his wife, and you know all that. And then that kind of gives you a preview of what kind of dude he is. Guy at the gas station, because this is something that I would have enjoyed back in the older days, like having a gas station attendant to do all that shit for you.
Yeah, I know
Clean
there's
your windshield.
Some parts of America where you can't pump your own gas, like it's literally illegal.
Jersey is like that. You can't pump your own gas in New Jersey.
Oregon is like that as well.
Is it?
I kind of wish that was still a thing. Like if I could just sit in my car and pump my gas, please. But we don't even have that option. So
no.
Here in Florida.
No, I mean, and honestly, you shouldn't trust anybody to put gas in your car here. They'll fucking that up somehow.
Yeah, this is true. This is Florida. Getting a fucking meth head to pump my gas. No, thank you. Don't put diesel in there.
You don't want 89? No, bitch. This is a Honda Civic. What part of this did you think needed better fuel?
Your car will run better. I'm going to put 89. Why is it so expensive? I put 89. You're going to thank me later.
No, I'm not. I'm going to choke you now.
They clean your windshield for you. That would have been nice. Do like a little inspection while the gas is pumping. I would like that.
And guys, fun, little detail for later on in the movie. He's like, yeah, this radiator hose could be replaced. And, I get that because we're all like that at the gas station or when you go to get your oil changed or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where have I heard that before? Like, nah, I'll replace it later. Thanks anyways. And he's like, all right. And he shuts the hood and he leaves. Well, when he gets back, that truck's on his ass. So he just waves him by like, God, man,
go ahead,
fuck. If you're that big into hurry, So
he goes around him and then he slows down and puts smoke at his face. He's like, you have the whole road. Like, why do you have to? But
you're killing me here. So he tries to pass it. Well, then he don't let him pass. Then he's like, what the fuck? What's this guy's problem?
And then he waves him on. He's like, thank God. So he tries to go around him and there's a car coming. He's like, what the fuck was that?
He almost got killed, yeah.
It's like, this guy's trying to kill me. I know this is like a chase movie. It's like an hour and a half chase movie so there's not going to be a whole lot we talk about because it's pretty much the same thing throughout the whole movie.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Even if we're talking about defensive driving, like at what point do you just say, you know what? I may lose this account today, hun. I'm going home. If he turns around and goes back home, like if the dude follows him there, you know what I'm saying? At least you're back towards your hometown, wherever, cops are going to believe your story, not some random asshole off the road, whatever. You get back to your house. Maybe you have a gun, maybe you don't, whatever. Yeah, that's probably my biggest beef with this whole movie is the whole cat and mouse. Like he didn't have to be in that game at all. But like, I guess that's what he's going for is like the character had to go crazy pretty much,
Well, that's what I was noticing when I was rewatching it. I was like, oh, this plays into the movies that I like. It's literally a descent into madness because he is like slowly losing his mind because of this fucking truck.
Right. So he goes and he pulls up into a town. He sees that there's a cafe about 7 miles up, and this guy's just on him the whole time. Well, like he keeps tapping his back bumper. Mm-hmm. This guy's got like a souped up diesel truck. Like it looks. I got very Mad Max vibes. I was about to say
that it looks like the Mad Max War Machine.
It sounds mean. You know what I'm saying? It sounds fucking hard, and it just plays into it because I mean he's in a sweet Pontiac. I want to say it's LTD, but I know it's not. But Or not Pontiac, it's a Plymouth.
Plymouth, yeah.
Plymouth, yeah.
So yeah, he goes into this diner, which is actually my favorite part of this whole movie.
No, I love how he just takes out the fence, and these two old dudes are like coming up like they're concerned, but not really concerned. The one old dude, I love it. He just keeps grabbing his neck and shit. Like, is this where it hurts? And he's like, fucking stop. Fucking whiplash. He's like, oh, you just got a little whiplash. He's smacking him in the head and shit. Like, it was funny as fuck. I didn't know if that was intentional or not. And he just turns to this other old dude. He's like, he's all right, just a little whiplash. Fucking goes back in the diner or whatever. The other old guy creeped me the fuck out because he didn't say anything. He didn't go inside. He just stays out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he goes to get back into his car, which, by the way, nobody says anything about, like, yo, you're going to do something about my fence that you just fucking took out.
Yeah, it was just kind of normal. You just take out fences back then.
Yeah, like, there's all these cars parked here, and you're the only one that took a fucking fence out.
Yeah.
But he goes in the diner, and he goes to the bathroom and shit, and he's just like, well, it's a crazy day, but at least it's over, you know?
One thing I have to say is I kind of wish they wouldn't have the overdub dialogue.
Yeah.
Or I kind of wish he just cut it out.
The narration.
You can, yeah, the narration. You can kind of get what's going on without all the spoon-fed dialogue.
Yeah.
Narration. I kind of wonder what it would be like if you took that out, because it would be more suspenseful and, you know, I don't know. That's just personal preference.
I don't know, man. Just like I said, the think what this movie suffers from the most is time, just because, like, this, I could see back then when you didn't have cell phones, when you didn't have social media and all that, because, like, if somebody was doing that to you now, you're going to go on live and like, look at this fucking asshole, like, look what he's doing, like, I need help, whatever. You can call 911 and all that, you get license plate numbers and shit. Back then, there's none of that. If you weren't in a fucking gas station or your home or a business, there was no phone.
Well, that's why there were so many missing people and murders back then.
Right.
You could just get away with shit.
There's no security cameras everywhere. Like, it's very different times.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what it's saying. Is like, this is a crazy situation, but it's not as crazy as the situation as it would be today, because, like I said, so much of it, and I just feel like people...
Well, yeah, you have to put yourself in that time period. Like, you know, you don't have to worry about it now, but back then they didn't have the luxuries we do.
Well, people were, I feel like, we're a little bit more trusting of each other and shit. Like, they felt like sick people were just like not a run-of-the-mill thing. Like, it was like, now I feel like people are all fucking crazy enough that, like I said, they would have confronted this fucking guy after the first time. Like, when he pulled up to the gas station with me.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, you got a fucking problem? Like, how long you been driving that truck? A day? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then when he's at the restaurant and he notices the truck's there, which I don't think the guy ever went in the fucking restaurant. I think he was just fucking with him.
But he was in the bathroom, so he thought he might have came in while he wasn't looking.
No, and I get it. And that is a good job of doing that, because he fucking goes to the one guy that he doesn't know. That's the newest one in the restaurant. And he starts like, hey, cut it out, man. Well,
before that, he sees all the men in the restaurant. He looks at their boots, and they have the same kind of boots that he had when he stopped at the gas station. It's just a really cool scene, because these guys keep looking at him, and they're like, what's your fucking problem? What are you looking at, kind of thing. And he's just like interrogating each one with his eyes, like, is it you? Is it you? I liked it. It was a nice little touch.
Right. But I'm just saying, like...
Yeah, then he goes up to the one guy that he really thinks it is and, like, smacks the fucking sandwich out of his hand.
And he gets his fucking guts beat.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a person nowadays is just going to come in and fucking kick the door open to that fucking cafe.
We still got some bitch material these days.
True story. But, I don't know. Like I said, I think it pissed me off because I just feel like people nowadays are a little bit more... with it.
Yeah, I guess there was a lot more, I don't know what the word is, polite, I guess.
Social etiquette.
But we don't know. We weren't back then. There could have been a lot of crazy people back then, too.
I mean, it's probably the same amount of crazy. It's just not as advertised.
Well, that's why I was saying at the beginning of the movie is that's why the phone call is so important, because it sets up him as a bitch. Right. So when he's doing bitch things, it's not a surprise. Well,
so he confronts the one guy he thinks it is, and it turns out that guy's not even the right one. He gets in a different truck and takes off, and then the truck just starts up. and let you know like the guy wasn't even in the fucking place.
He's just waiting.
He's just waiting for him.
One touch that I like about this movie is you never see the driver.
No.
Never once you see the driver. And
that kind of pissed
me
off, to be honest. Like, I thought when he was laying in the wreckage, maybe we'd get a little view.
Well,
nope.
It's to kind of show like...
Doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. The truck is the monster. It's all encompassing. It's not the man. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, just like when he had the chance a couple times he had him stopped, like you should have popped his tires. Like, you should have done something.
You can't pop those kind of tires. Have you seen videos of people trying to pop those tires? It breaks their arm because of the blowback.
I've tried. I mean, he gets fucked up anyways. Destroys his own car in the process.
His car does get fucked. It's very much destruction derby on the road.
And I love how he chased this guy for an hour and a half, but he still took the time to help those kids in their school bus.
Right, to show he's like a good Samaritan.
He's just like, yeah, I might be a fucking psycho, but I'm not a monster. All right? Like, sure, I'm hunting a guy, but like, you know.
I'll help some kids out.
Gotta help some kids. Like, they gotta get home.
I guess I can throw a fun fact in there since you brought it up.
Right.
This movie was originally only 70 minutes because it went straight to TV. It got a theatrical release, but they wanted it to be an hour and a half. So Steven Spielberg had to shoot extra scenes to extend it. And the school bus scene where he tries to push him into the railroad tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was another scene. I don't remember which one it was, but those scenes were added in.
It's probably the one at the Snake Lady.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe something like that.
That was a cool scene because it showed that rattlesnake almost get his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed that the driver was like slowly but surely not giving a fuck. Like, who noticed this guy was going to get murdered? You know, like that lady, my snakes, my
all she cares about is the snakes. But I was going to say, I kind of wish it had the cut on it with those taken out, like the original cut, like just literally a 70-minute, like.
Yeah, because I think it does. I think it does keep the suspense more if you don't have as much fluff.
Right.
But
the old people. That's what it was.
Oh yeah,
they added the old people scene.
Yeah, that was kind of pointless.
Yeah,
but it was crazy because like he'd get out of his car and the dude would just park on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. And then when he like walked up to confront him, he would drive away because you're not going to catch up to a semi. So
right. And he just kept fucking with him like that. And that's why I was just like, man, you should have fist fought it when you had the chance. But yeah, he eventually, like, it gets to the point where, like, this guy has fucking lost his shit. Because he even parks for an hour.
Yeah, he sees this railroad track off to the side and he kind of, like, tucks his car in there. So you can't see it from the road. But, yeah, he parks the truck and just waits for him to come by. So he thinks, like, he waited long enough, like, took a nap and everything, and starts to drive, and there he is. Fucking insane.
It wasn't even, like, that far down the road.
Right.
Like, he knew that, like, yeah, you had to pass by here.
Mm-hmm.
And it is do a good job, because, like you said, it doesn't show you the guy at all. And I'm thinking at the end, like, it's going to be somebody. It's got to be somebody, right? But
I have to say, so this is Steven Spielberg's first movie. And it just shows how good he is with a camera. Like, so many shots in this were so amazing.
Yeah, I like the ones, the driving scenes were really cool. I like how it took, next to the car and really you really hear the engine revving and
well, that one part where you said he like stopped and, waited, there was a junkyard beside it. Mm-hmm. And then as we're kind of waiting, he does different shots with like broken down cars. But you still see him like in the distance in the shot, but he does different kind of angles. It's just shit like that. It's like photography, but with the camera. I mean, that's what movies are.
Fun fact about Par, my first car ever was a 1969 Impala. So I love old fucking cars and old cars in movies. And that is one aspect of this I did enjoy, was the older cars that you see. Mm-hmm. Them old people are riding an old like 50s Lincoln. Like, that's cool shit. And,
that's what I do love about period pieces, because you get to see those cars from back then, not restored cars. You see them actually in that time
what
period.
They look like. Yeah. Like I said, it's a good shot movie. Like, the cinematography is good. I mean, he showed a knack for that early.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Oh, I was going to say, so the studio wanted him to do the shots on a green screen in a car, but he refused. He's like, I got to do this on set or on location, or else I'm not going to do it. So it's nice that he had a vision and stuck with it, because it would not have looked good seeing him on a green screen. It would have looked so. Yeah, having him shoot on set was so like adds to the tension.
Yeah, because I mean, you could tell he had like a pace car and whatever, like a one with the boom hanging off of it. They would just film him driving down the road. It's shot, like I said, it's top notch. You could tell that, like, when you look at the movies he did later, obviously some fucking major movies, like his cinematography just kept getting better, and better and better. I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. You just hate bitch guy. It's just, I don't know. Characters. It's like, how you watch a movie and you just felt like, what was the whole point of this? Like this guy's stranded out in the fucking desert now, and just pretty much murdered somebody. And like, I get it, it's self-defense, but like, you lost your car, you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, how the fuck is this guy? Like, how are you in any better situation than you were when this movie started? So then I think, like, what was the point of it?
Yeah.
I
think it's just a monster movie.
I get it. Like I said, and I think that this idea has been done better since, because I think Joyride is like the best version of this story.
You keep bringing that one up. I don't think I've seen that one. So
it's got Steve Zahn and Paul Walker.
Yeah, you brought it up. I don't think I've seen it. So.
Yeah, that one's a lot better. These two guys are on like a road trip, and they got, I think it's their girlfriend or something with them, sister or something, I forget. And they have one of those, Paul Walker's like a car guy. He's got like a CB radio in his fucking car. Yeah. Believe it or not, I think this movie was done before Fast and No, it might be after. It was around that time. Yeah. So I don't know if he was the Fast and Furious guy yet.
I saw you in that car movie. You want to be in this car movie?
But Steve Zahn, of course, always playing the cut up. He gets on there and he's like acting like he's a hooker. And he's looking for like a good time or whatever, because truckers are just like notorious for like,
they're looking for lot lizards,
right? So of course they find one and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a dumbass. Like, we're gonna fuck with him." So they like talk him into meeting at some shitty hotel or whatever, and tell him to bring a bottle of champagne or some shit. And the dude ends up going there, and there's like a woman in the hotel room, and he like obviously tries to get her. She ain't down, so he like fucking kills her.
Damn.
And they're there like, oh fuck, this just happened, So somehow the guy finds out that it's them, and like that's the whole movie, is him chasing them and fucking with them.
I see. Well, you have to. This came out in 1971, right. So this is very early on.
So I said this is like the original version of the story.
Yeah, it's been done to death. It's been done better, but this is like. Hasn't been done a lot when this came out, so you have to. And
that's what I said. I tried to take all that into account, and you know what I mean. It did a good job of building the tension. I felt like to a certain extent, but like you said, I think it would have been better shorter, just because you wouldn't have had that filler.
Yeah,
like I felt like the scene with the snakes was cool, and. All the shit on the road that he would do. Like, he would try to brake and go back, and the guy would just block the fucking road, and you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that was
cat
cool.
And mouse shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That was cool. But when he stops at the diner, that was a decent scene. But I don't know, it's just like the longer it was, I guess it just made it to where like it didn't feel as tense as it should have by the time he gets to that last scene when they finally go at it head to head.
Right.
His car is fucked by this point.
It is.
If you blew your radiator, like, there's no way this fucking car starts again.
That's the one thing that I hated about the movie, is because radiator goes out, his car starts to heat up and it's slowing down. He's like, come on. And then
just magically gets going.
Yeah, he goes downhill and magically it fixes itself, and cars don't work like that. But
where did the fucking briefcase come from is what I want to know. I didn't see this briefcase the whole fucking movie, and then he just shoves it down into the gas pedal and fucking hops out. And this fucking truck driver has been like fucking the most skilled semi truck driver I've ever seen in a movie up until this point, and then all of a sudden just can't get out of the way in time. to knock this fucking car off the cliff or whatever.
I think he wanted to hit it, but I think he waited too long to hit the brakes. So the way the semi went onto the car, he wasn't able to stop because the momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then that's just like literally, I would imagine 3/4 of the budget came into making these two cars explode because he filmed that. Shit. It
didn't explode.
Real. Oh no, not explode, but like crash
down a mountain.
Yeah,
it's an important part because the studio wanted the cars to explode in a big ball of fire, but Steven Spielberg said he wanted it to just be slow and methodical with no explosions, just this slow crash. And I kind of prefer that.
Yeah. Although I think like because of movies now, like where you just expected to blow up.
Yeah.
But it was different. And then you get the driver just bleeding. You don't see him, but you just see blood dripping on the steering wheel, which is a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do feel like it hangs on the crash a little too long.
Maybe.
Like after it's already wrecked, it kind of he gets like different shots of the wreck. Like I think you can cut that in half and still get the same effect, but it's nitpick.
And then I think it was like you said, it was a good shot at he did a good job in that last scene of he's sitting there and he's just like like he's just like he's so fucking like just nervously broke, like he does a good job of showing like he really did lose his fucking mind out here in this desert slash because it's like out long stretches of highway with no towns in between.
I thought you were gonna say like how fucking long is his commute? Like they've been driving forever. How has he not even gotten close?
Well, no, but that's how it was back in the day. Like if you were any kind of businessman that had traveling, like you were on the road, like you had to get there because you couldn't afford a plane ticket.
Right.
And some people didn't want trains, so
it's true. I guess that's what I was thinking because I'm so used to everything being so close. Like even Orlando and Tampa is just like an hour away.
Well, I mean, it's California too. California is a huge fucking state, so.
True.
But yeah, like that didn't bother me part of it, but and then I think just through his paranoia and being scared, I think he fucking completely forgot about what his destination was. Like he was just trying to get away.
That's true. He's just trying to get away. That's
so like, I mean, maybe he should have been there an hour ago, but he's so fucking frazzled. Like he didn't, you know what I mean?
That's funny when we do these movies for the podcast. I think about you now. I'm like, how is Nick going to take this movie? Like, what is he going to hate about it? What is he going to like about it? I expected you to like this a little more though. Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, I don't know. It just was underwhelming, I guess is what is my best word for it. Like I don't, I know that there are older movies out there that are still great. I feel like they still hold up.
I just think this is a nice peer into Steven Spielberg as a director. Like this is his first movie.
Like I said,
so good.
It was like with the Coen brothers, like, and with Nolan, like you see the glimpses of what became their signatures, like what make them great directors, and you see that in this movie. Like there's are beautiful shots, not just scenery, but of the cars, but the you know what I'm saying? Like he shows that Spielberg panache already, but I just like I said, I just didn't think it was very. It was very run of the mill,
right?
I know.
Yeah, that's fair. I did have a lot of fun facts pulled up, so I just want to get into them because it's fun. When Carrie Lofton, playing the truck driver, asked Steven Spielberg what is his motivation for tormenting the car's driver, Spielberg told him, "You're a dirty, rotten, no good son of a bitch." Lofton replied, "Kid, you hired the right man." So I had to look up who this was, and I had him pulled up. Arguably the world's greatest stunt driver ever. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, he was whipping the fuck out of that semi.
He was.
You know
I was actually pretty impressed. Cause
like I said, I got Mad Max vibes like a bitch because he was working that fucking thing.
Definitely War Machine vibes.
He's walking that dog.
According to Richard Matheson, he was inspired to write the original story Duel after an encounter with a tailgating truck driver on November 22nd, 1963, the day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Yeah.
Wow.
During the chase at a parked sedan resembling a squad car is seen briefly raising Dan Weaver's hopes, but it turns out to be a service car from
Pest Control. Yeah, I noticed that.
Spielberg in reverse.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is the one. Steven Spielberg was shown 7 different semi-trucks to choose from. He chose the Peterbilt because it resembled a face. This is the one that I really liked. I didn't even catch this until I read this. Steven Spielberg said that the multiple license plates on the front bumper of the truck suggested that the truck driver is a serial killer who ran down other drivers in other states. That was a really cool touch.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of it as more of like they did it so you wouldn't know who you know what I'm saying, which one was his actual license plate.
Mm-hmm. Because this is such an old movie, I didn't know how things worked back then, so I thought truck drivers had to have different license plates for different states.
State, yeah.
So that's where I took it. But to read that, I was like, it's a nice touch. I didn't even think about that. So
that is cool though.
This is the one I already talked about. It was originally 74 minutes, and then they added scenes. That's pretty much it. Those are the good ones anyway.
Right.
But yeah. So what do you rate?
What do I give it? 5.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not even a 7.
Nah.
5.5.
I didn't hate it, but I would never watch it again. Like,
really?
You know what I'm saying? It's just.
I'm actually glad I bought it because I did buy it, the Blu-ray for the podcast, and for me, it still holds up. I love this movie.
I don't know. I just kept thinking, like, I knew the movie wasn't long, but I was still just kind of waiting it out. Like, it felt like, you know, because, like, some of the chase theme was cool, but, like, it felt like they kept, like you said, like, he just kept kind of doing the same thing over and over with him, like, fucking with him. And it was like, I don't know. It just took away from some of this tensity of it, I felt like.
I see. Yeah, I watched this movie. I don't know how I watched it. I think I watched it on TV or I saw it streaming or can't tell you, but I really liked the movie. And then shout out to Chris Stuckman. He did a review of this movie because he was doing a Spielberg month or whatever. And I was like, I did not know Spielberg did that movie. I was like, I love that movie. But yeah.
Did you see it when you were younger or were you like older?
I think I was older. I was probably early 20s, you know, somewhere like that.
It made me think to myself, like, how many older movies like in the 70s and shit do I still like enjoy? Like, how much do I feel like it still holds up to where it is?
Well, it's one of the golden ages of cinema. The 70s.
And that's what they say. But I mean, a lot of the movies that I love are from the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, Scorsese, a lot of my favorite movies from him were the 70s.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, I like The Godfather, you know, I like
Taxi Driver.
I like, you know, Mean Streets is cool. But I was just thinking, like, as far as epic, like Jaws is obviously dope.
You have Stanley Kubrick's movies too, you know, like Clockwork Orange.
Right, I was talking about movies I liked.
I was talking about good movies.
Right. I like good movies.
Yeah. I mean, Shining. It's from
Shining's from the 70s. I was going to say, there's gems. Yeah. There's gems. Don't get me wrong.
I think if I had a list, it's hard to think of them off the top of my head because time.
But this is, like I said, this is one of those other movies, though. I just, like, you know, it's very dated.
It is very dated, but personally, I feel it still holds up.
But I think that's, like, why other movies from, like, back then, some of them can still be just as great because... like The Godfather, like that's why it's written so fucking well. Mm-hmm. Like it's acted like you feel those fucking characters.
Right.
This one wasn't a lot of character development. It's just
a small movie.
It's a very simple idea, and I mean it makes sense that this would be like his first movie type deal because you know it's hey, we can shoot this for cheap, we can make it work. You know, I can put my little touch on it, and let's see if we can make some money. We'll make a movie. And I mean, obviously, they were right by giving him the chance because he took off of this and he built on something even better and kept going and kept going. So, like I said, I didn't hate it, but like, you know, I'm glad I saw it. Like, it makes me feel good that it's a movie of his that I didn't know existed. Mm-hmm. But,
well, so what does it make you want to give me next?
Actually, I've been wanting to do this movie for a while. And it's kind of an action movie, but it's kind of not. But it's got all kinds of hilariousness. So we're going to do Money Talks.
What's funny is I just watched a thing on Chris Tucker.
Did you?
Yeah. It's What the Fuck Happened to Chris Tucker? Because we keep bringing him up.
Right.
And, you know, he found religion. That's what happened.
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, that's what he put it on, but like, he didn't need money anymore.
Yeah.
And he kept
that's why he didn't do Fridays, because
right, and he kept asking for too much money to do. Like, only people that would give him the money was Rush Hour.
Yeah,
like, that's the only
$25 million to do Rush Hour. He was the highest paid actor at the time. That's crazy.
So, like, you know,
but yeah, because I can't remember Money Talks. I think I seen it when I was young, and it didn't stick with me.
In my opinion, this is like when he was at his golden comedy.
Yeah,
like. Fifth Element and this and Friday, like it all came around the same couple years.
Well, that's when he did all his movies, and then after Rush Hour, it kind of fell off. He didn't act anymore.
Yeah, Rush Hour was what, like 97, 98, and then he was doing those, and then that was it. That was really all you saw him in. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited because I'm on this like fucking random ass Chris Tucker high. So thanks for feeding into it.
I love Chris Tucker.
Yeah. Jackie Brown was the last movie he did. That Bad Boy before he found religion.
Oh yeah.
And then he did the Rush Hours. But anyway.
Well, like in the Rush Hour movies, like he charged more to cuss. Like Rush Hour 3, I remember. Like he told him that like he didn't want to say GD and shit because, you know, that was like his catchphrase almost for like 20 years. Goddamn! Like, you know what I mean? And like, I heard they had to pay him extra to do all that shit.
Wow. Pay you extra to do your own catchphrases. That's pretty fucking, that's baller.
So I said, I think he might have got like the reputation to be difficult to work with or something.
I don't know. Well, we can talk more on him when we do the Money Talks next week.
But yeah, and this probably might be like my second favorite Charlie Sheen movie too. So
I might actually pick one of his father's movies because I've been wanting to do it.
Old Martin?
Yes, Martin Sheen.
You remember he used to be the fucking narrator for the Eyewitness show? You remember those when we used to watch them in school?
No.
Like, it would be like it'd be about whatever. Sometimes it was animals. Sometimes it was like the rainforest or whatever. And he always did the narration for him. I'll have to pull it up for you, but like, it's so fucking cool.
I didn't pay attention, no.
And as a kid, like I used to watch those in school all the time and everything. And then, they even had the books that went with them. You remember those?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't have them in school, I guess.
I guess not.
We went to two different schools.
That's true. But anyways, like years later, like I was listening to him narrate something and I was just like, where's that fucking sound from? And then I was like, that's it. He's the fucking guy. Like, but you said you wanted to watch the Munsters trailer.
I wanted to talk about it, but then you came over and told me you haven't watched the Munsters trailer yet. Right. So I was actually going to tell you, if you haven't watched it, don't watch it, and we can watch it on the podcast.
I don't want this movie to be bad because I know how much Rob Zombie loves the Munsters. Like, he said that this was like the most excited he was to do anything.
Did you watch the Munsters growing up?
I don't want to say I'm like, you know, a huge Munsters fan. I've seen probably 6 or 7 episodes. Used to come on Nick at Night when I was younger. Yeah, and I would watch them then. This
was on the rotation of my family's shows that way they would watch. I actually enjoyed the Munsters. It was one of the shows I looked forward to when my parents would watch TV. So I don't want to say I'm well versed in the Munsters, but I'm very familiar with the Munsters. So
yeah, I mean, I get the whole premise, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I've seen enough of it to get the gist of the show.
Okay, so Rob Zombie wanted to make a Munsters movie. So they released a trailer, and I wanted to talk about it on the podcast.
Okay.
So we're going to do... I've already seen it, so it's not a live reaction for me, but it's going to be...
I have heard some people shit on it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Let me turn my volume up so we can actually hear it. Hopefully we won't call... I mean, it's a promo, so we shouldn't get in trouble. We're just doing free promotion for them. So
Right.
You ready?
We own nothing. Well, that's a nice touch.
I like the opening. Yeah, the Universal old school.
I hate Herman's voice. The guy that's doing his voice. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't think I like anything about this.
I was gonna say it looks good at least.
No, it doesn't.
But
it looks awful.
When you get that close up of him, I don't know, man.
That is the worst trailer I've ever seen, Nick.
I wouldn't say it's the worst trailer.
It is the worst trailer I've ever seen for a movie.
Is he trying anymore?
That's my whole thing. You're supposed to be huge monsters.
Fanboy, you know what I mean? Like,
and you make that?
That's the best you could do.
That's the best you could do.
Damn, man.
I hated that so much. Like, you can even look at the thumbs counter, so I'm not the only one that feels this way.
1,000 people liked it.
Yeah. 5,000 did not.
Eesh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should just stick to horror.
Yeah.
You know?
I was somewhat excited for this, but I do not. Somebody said that they think this is a troll trailer, and it's not going to be as bad as this trailer is making it out to be. I'm really hoping that's the case. My one thing is a lot of people changed it to black and white. It actually looks a lot better in black and white. I kind of wish they would have stuck with the black and white.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it doesn't make you notice certain things as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to ruin my day if it is bad, because like I said, I don't have that sentimental attachment to the Munsters. That was before me.
I don't know. That trailer ruined my day.
He's got to live with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as they don't give him the rights to like Voltron or something that I enjoy, you know? Yeah, he can keep fucking up properties that I don't care about. It's like, even when he did Halloween, like, I like his Halloween movies, but I'm not a horror guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I thought they checked off all the boxes of what a good horror movie is. It's got good suspense, decent story, cool fucking looking Michael Myers. You got that big fucking 8-foot fucking WWE guy to play him. Like, I thought they were cool, you know? Much more entertaining than some of the other horror that was out at that time. But people shit on that, you know? But like, you ruined fucking Halloween. That doesn't bother me because I don't care about Michael Myers like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're not a horror podcast, but you know, you brought up something about the monsters and him doing it.
Right.
And I watched the trailer, so it just.
I hope for his sake, because I am a Rob Zombie fan as far as music is concerned. His movies, like I said, I don't think they're bad, but I don't think they're like, you know, I'm not a huge fan of his movies. I own a couple of them.
Right.
But
anyway, I just thought it would be a fun little, because I did not like that at all.
Yeah, I've always kind of been able to take and leave him as a director, and I feel like other people like.
I was trying to think of what I watched that I like him. A lot of people like A House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
I think Devil's Rejects is probably his best movie.
I just, like you said, I'm gonna take it or leave it. I don't love his films. I don't hate them either, but if you put them on, I won't be mad about it.
The Halloweens are cool. Like I said, they're not like, you know, they're not works of art, but. Or masterpieces, I guess, but
yeah,
I can sit down and have a good time watching them. But then again, like I said, I could take or leave the Halloween franchise altogether.
Yeah,
some people love Michael Myers.
Some people, well, that's like the number one when everyone talks about horror. Is like Halloween seems to be top.
Friday 13th. There's a lot of Jason following. Freddy's following.
I've always been a Jason guy.
I like Jason too.
Freddy's fun, but he's not. I don't know. He's not horror. He's comedy to me. Freddy Krueger.
I'd probably say the thing I love the most horror franchise wise was always Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
But they've made so many shitty remakes of that it doesn't even bother me anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like the original one, and that's where I just leave it.
I've been more thriller, psychological kind of horror person. Like, that's the stuff that scares me. Is when like people are losing their mind.
Some of the movies you given me are scary just because it's shit that I wouldn't want to like
experience. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like certain shit, you feel like you get away from that. Like, I get in the car, I go. Right. It won't be that bad. That's why I think Strangers is still to this day one of the scariest fucking movies I've ever seen. Yeah, because that shit could happen. Mm-hmm. Like, I checked my windows and I shit from my house for weeks after watching that fucking movie.
One that we watched not too long ago. Well, what's long ago? Hush. Did you watch that one? It's this lady. She's living in a house in the middle of the woods, but she's deaf. So there's this burglar that's trying to like break in, but she can't hear anything. So.
Oh, fuck.
He's like fucking with her whole time.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, they took that, what was that, Don't Breathe or whatever?
I was just thinking about that one too.
They flipped that shit on his neck.
They really did. I was like, why are y'all fucking with this old man? Oh.
The blind man said, y'all fucked with the wrong one. Fucking turn the power off, bro.
I enjoyed it. I didn't see the second one, so I can't speak on that. But the first one was entertaining as hell.
Well, I think
Like
it's,
even the twist didn't bother me. I liked it.
I was about to say the second one I heard like they didn't like because now he's like raised that girl, you know, and now she's like helping him kill people and shit.
The fuck?
Well, like
That's a weird twist. That's a twist
They
on
like
a
go
twist.
to like get the girl back,
Yeah.
and to like murder him, and like he's raised this fucking kid, so like she thinks is like his daughter, so I guess like she's like doesn't want to go.
Spoilers.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I just
I'm talking about for other people.
I just remember seeing the trailer for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but oh well.
I do like that old guy though. He's
He's a
badass.
great actor.
He's great in Avatar.
Mm.
Did you see the trailer for that? The new Avatar?
Don't care.
Really?
I do not care about Avatar.
I think it's gonna be good.
I mean, it's gonna be good. It's James Cameron. He makes good movies.
Way of the Water, baby.
But I'm not a blockbuster guy, so I don't care about these big popcorn movies.
I think it's gonna be interesting because if he can make this one, I don't think it's gonna be the first one again. I don't think he's gonna be able to make a hit like that. But
All his movies, well, most of his movies are hit. Terminator 2, Titanic, Avatar. The biggest movies to ever make money.
But Avatar held the record for the most highest grossing movie ever for how long? Like
But it also
10 years.
But it also established a franchise. It established an IP. So to go back, if it's even like
That's what I'm
somewhat
saying.
good,
I'm not saying it won't do numbers.
Yeah.
Like, it is going to do numbers, but I don't think it'll be the first movie numbers.
I think it'll outsell the first one.
You think so?
Yeah. You want to take bets?
Dude. I don't know, man.
I think Avatar 2 will outsell the first one.
It would just have to be that much better.
I still
of a
think it's
movie.
going to be an underwhelming story.
Think so?
Yeah. I don't think there's
We
anything.
got 5 more coming, so
Oh, I know. He shot them all at once.
it's like I may not direct the 5th one, bro. You've gone this far, you might as well. Like, we're supposed to get a new Avatar movie for like every year for like
For the next 5 years.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Mm-mm.
I just want to go do other things. No,
I mean,
bro,
it's
you
good
just wanna make
timing.
Avatars.
It's good timing because Marvel's on the decline. People are losing interest in Marvel.
It's because they're not picking good heroes, bro.
No,
Nobody
they're
gives
not
a-
doing good writing.
Who gives a shit about Miss Marvel, bro? You've already got a Miss Marvel, or you already got a Captain Marvel. You don't need another fucking Marvel. Like, you're good.
And people are getting Star Wars out. You know, they're getting sick of the Star Wars.
No, people want more fucking Star Wars, and they won't give it to them. They keep giving them little, just like junky
Sprinkles
hits,
of-
just enough to get you by. Like, where the fuck is Mandalorian season 3 at? Like, I need that in my life. You know, I don't give it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obi-Wan had some cool shit in it, but like, I didn't care about that story. Like, we know what happened there. Give me something I want. Give me some more Mando. Fuck, I'll even take Boba Fett season 2. That shit was cool, you know? But Star Wars is one of those things, like, it should never get stale. You have millions of fucking stories that you could tell from that shit.
Yeah.
And same thing with Marvel. Like, you talk about, fatigue. Y'all have reached newest heights of fucking comic book movies, would never have this much shine ever. You can do whatever you want. And they keep pulling all these fucking B-listers. Like, y'all own everything. You have the X-Men, for God's sakes. You've done nothing with them.
I thought Sony had X-Men.
No. Marvel owns all that shit. The only thing Marvel has to share is the fucking Hulk with Universal. They can't do a solo Hulk movie.
And Spider-Man.
And they can't do a fucking solo Spider-Man without Sony.
Yeah.
But they can do all the team-ups and shit they want. Out the ass.
Who should they be doing?
Dude, they just got all the rights from all the Fox characters. You can do anything in X-Men. You can do the whole fucking thing. You can do Deadpool. You can do fucking Fantastic Four, bro. Like, you gonna tell me that with all the money Marvel dumps into that shit, they couldn't make a Fantastic fucking Four movie?
They keep dropping the ball on that one.
Somebody's dropping the ball, but Kevin Feige ain't never done it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that he's not working on it, but like, give us something, dog. You keep giving all these B-list fucking shows. Like, nobody cares about that shit.
I was more so talking about movies.
I don't know. I feel like some of the movies are doing good. Like, the Spider-Man movie did fucking fantastic.
Well, people are saying that the Thor is too much comedy, not enough story.
I will say this. I enjoyed Ragnarok more than I enjoyed Love and Thunder, but I still thought it was a good movie. Had some heart. You know what I mean? B-Man enjoyed it, you know, and I feel like he's that target audience.
That's what I was saying to somebody the other day. There, people bring up that I review movies, and they're like, "Oh, what kind of movies are you into?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I like weird, indie art house movies. And they're like, you like Marvel? I'm like, no, that's for kids. Those are for children. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is. Marvel movies are made for children. They are not meant for grown adults.
I think they're meant for both.
So maybe originally, but it's not that anymore. They are blockbuster movies for children.
Bro, I saw fucking grown men with beards crying in Endgame.
Those are children. Those are man children.
Well, I'm a fucking man child.
I know this. You're not telling me I don't know anything.
Don't say it's not adults. I have a beard. I pay bills. I'm a fucking adult.
You are a child.
I am an adult. But yes, I did think that they definitely leaned a lot more on the comedy for Thor 4. And while it was great, like, it was a fun movie, like, I thought. But yeah, I mean, you get to have Christian Bale killing it, like, being the most evil of fucking villains in that movie.
He was the one reason I wanted to go see it. I still haven't seen it. I might see it when it comes out on streaming.
It's definitely a worth a watch, bro. Doctor Strange 2 was good. I liked it.
I didn't like it.
Fucking Spider-Man 3 nostalgia carried a lot of that for me, but I don't think any of them have been like terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Eternals.
Eternals is probably the worst one they've done.
Shang-Chi or whatever his name
I
is.
like Shang-Chi. I think it's
good.
good. A lot of cool ass kicking in there.
I'm not the audience. I'm just speculating on what other people have said.
Well, no, I get it though. And I tell you, it's the Disney Plus shows. I feel like bringing them down too.
I more so am just talking about like people seem less interested in them. Like they're kind of getting burnt out on Marvel.
Yeah, superhero fatigue. Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
Like even the hardcore fans, I think, are getting a little fatigued. But that's what I'm saying is like this is a good time for a new IP to step in, and people fucking love Avatar. So
it's been so long since the first one. It's just I wonder how well it's gonna do. Like I said, I know it'll make money, but will it hit like it did that first time?
Like I said, I'm gonna say it right here. The second Avatar is gonna outsell the first Avatar.
You said it here first, folks.
Yeah.
We got this recorded. What is today? The 17th of July?
Yeah.
2022. He's calling it.
Doesn't it come out in August? I mean, Christmas?
Yeah.
Christmas.
That's when they always come out. Christmas.
Like when you got shit better to do.
Bring your families to see this fucking movie.
That's when the families get together. But did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
I'm looking forward to Black Adam. I think that'll be good. DC needs a win right now.
Yeah.
They're bad.
They do.
This Flash is fucking killing me.
Has there been any new?
I don't know, man. I mean, every day something comes out. Now he's a cult leader. I don't know. Like he's got a farm. There's guns. I don't know. He's got a family hostage. Like I'm telling you, dude, he's off the fucking deep end, man. I don't know what the fuck.
I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but it is entertaining.
Jesus. It's like, yo, man, hey, everything going so good for you in life. What can you do to fuck this up?
Everything.
Oh, bro, I haven't even got started yet. Like,
I hope I get so famous that I can fuck it up that bad.
Why would you want to?
Like, just for fun.
First of all, there's no reason for him to be famous. Like, he's already comes from money. Like, he didn't have to do anything with his life.
Right.
And he'd been set up. Then you worked all that hard to put into movies just to fucking, like, lose your shit like that. I don't know.
That's my goals in life. I want to be that famous that I can just fucking go crazy and have all this like.
Just go Britney Spears on.
Yes.
Lose your shit.
That's what I want in life.
I don't know, man. I guess I'll see you like if we get there. Like,
I want to be so rich that I go broke doing dumb shit.
Oof.
I don't want to hurt anybody in the process. I
just yourself.
Just myself and my reputation.
Be the Scott Storch of podcasting. Guy did so much cocaine, like he just fucked over so many people.
Yeah.
Park can't even take a meeting now. They're like, you didn't bring Greg, did you?
You think you're going to be the bad one? Wait till I get a hold of $1 million.
They think the success got to me.
Really, I'm the fucking strung out one. He was the glue. I don't know what happened.
I thought I was gonna get it a chance, but like he took that from me. Like nobody's more pissed off than me.
He took all of my thunder. I got kids. He doesn't. So
I got rehab set up that I don't even need now. Like
I turn into Jason Mewes.
I'm like a better father, like than I thought I would be. Like I'm having to save this guy's fucking life.
He fucked up so bad. I turned my life around.
He made me see the error of my ways.
I think I'm joking. Give me some money. I'll fuck this up.
That's too good.
Anyway,
But yeah, man, so we're going to do Money Talks.
Money Talks next week. Until then.
Later, y'all.
Later.